There was once a quiet librarian named Michael Hale who worked in an old town library that few people visited anymore. He loved the stillness of the place, the smell of aging pages, and the sense that time itself slowed between the shelves. One evening, during a thunderstorm while closing up, he noticed something strange. One of the oldest sections of the library had a single book out of place. It was thick, bound in dark leather with no title on its spine. When he tried to shelve it, the pages fell open on their own, revealing text written in his own handwriting. Confused, he read the first line. At 9:15 p.m., lightning strikes the clock tower across the street. He checked his watch. It was 9:14. Before he could blink, thunder roared and a blinding flash filled the sky. Through the window, he saw the clock tower struck by lightning, exactly as written. His heart raced. He flipped through more pages, only to find entries describing events that hadn't happened yet. Each one dated and timed to the minute. The last entry on the page read, "At 10:03 p.m., Michael discovers something that should never be found." He looked at the clock. It was 9:47. Every instinct told him to put the book away, but curiosity burned in him stronger than fear. As the minutes ticked closer to 10:03, the library lights began to flicker. The air grew colder, carrying a faint whisper that seemed to echo from between the shelves. He called out, thinking someone might be there, but only silence answered. Then a loud thud came from the restricted section, an area sealed off decades ago after a fire. He followed the sound, the floorboards creaking under his steps. The door to the section was locked with rusted chains, yet the thud came again, more urgent, as if something inside wanted out. He looked back at the mysterious book in his hand and realized it had opened to a new page. This one read, "You must not open the door." But it was too late. He already had the key from the old janitor's drawer. Against every instinct, he unlocked the chain. The door swung open, releasing a gust of icy air that blew out the candles. Inside, the shelves were half burned, the walls blackened by soot, but among the debris stood another podium holding a single identical book. Same cover, same binding, but glowing faintly. He stepped closer, his breath fogging in the cold. As he reached for it, both books flipped open on their own, pages fluttering rapidly until they stopped on blank sheets. Then, words began appearing one by one, forming a sentence before his eyes. "You were never meant to exist." He stumbled back, horrified. The ground vibrated, dust falling from the ceiling. Shadows moved across the walls, forming shapes of people, their faces featureless. They whispered together in one voice, "Return what was written." Michael dropped the book and ran, but the shelves shifted around him, rearranging like a maze. Every path led him back to the podium. Desperate, he tore a page from the book and stuffed it into his pocket. Immediately, the whispers stopped. The room fell silent. He rushed out, slamming the door shut, and the chains reattached themselves, sealing it once more. Gasping for air, he looked down at the page he'd taken. It was blank. That night, he couldn't sleep. The events replayed in his mind over and over. He decided to bring the book to the police the next morning, but when he returned to the library, it was gone. The shelf where he found it was empty, covered in fresh dust. The restricted section door was bricked over as if it had never existed. Thinking he'd lost his mind, he reached into his pocket for the page, but it now had writing on it. The words read, "At 11:11 a.m., Michael Hale disappears without a trace." He froze, staring at the clock on the wall. It was 11:09. He dropped the page, backing away, whispering, "No, this isn't real." But the hands of the clock ticked louder and louder until the sound filled the room like thunder. The lights flickered violently, and for a split second, he saw his reflection in the glass door. But it wasn't him. It was another version of himself, older, eyes hollow, holding the same book. Then everything went dark. The library remained silent for days until someone found the doors open and the lights still on. Michael was gone. The only thing left behind was an open book on the desk, its final line written neatly in black ink. Some stories are not meant to be read, only lived. To this day, the library staff claim the book sometimes appears again on stormy nights, waiting for someone new to turn its first page.